Week 3 is here and it's Friday, so we got picks coming your way. We got a really big board this week. Let's start off at the top. Arizona, Kansas State. I like Arizona +7. That's a lot of points to be given this offense against a leaky Kansas State defense. I think Noah Fafita and T-Mac will have a really good game. I like Arizona +7 here. Alabama at Wisconsin. What an awesome game. This matchup is just going to be so fun. At Camp Randall, I expect the atmosphere to be awesome. This number is pretty heavy, and I like it if the tackles play. If Elijah Pritchett and Caden Proctor are playing, I like -16. If they're not playing, I probably would stay away. But for this purposes, I'm going to assume that they're both playing, so I'm going to take Bama -16. Memphis and Florida State. Florida State has really shown us who they are. I know they had a bye week, but their lines of scrimmage have not looked very good. And I think Memphis is a really solid G5 team. I think Seth Hennigan is a pretty solid quarterback. I think they can maybe get the job done and get an outright upset. So give me Memphis +6.5. LSU, South Carolina, where game day is. This is going to be a really fun one as well. Noon kickoff. LSU -7. I think this is just a little bit of a market overreaction to what South Carolina did to Kentucky last week. And I think maybe LSU is being a little tad underrated. I'm not really big on LSU for the year, but I do like them in this game. So give me LSU -7. I think they can get the job done here. The Apple Cup is back in week 3. So we got Wazoo and Washington. There's a better number out there if you want to bet Washington State. I think there's like 5s out there now, but I got it at 3.5. Jumped on a little early. But I like the Cougars here +3.5. They return a lot. I like Jake Dicker. He's done a really good job with this program so far. And on the flip side, Washington returns no one. And they have Will Rogers, so he's like kind of a good threat offensively. But give me Washington State +3.5 here. Moving on to another old Pac-12 rivalry. We got the Civil War, Oregon State. Oregon, this is kind of like how I'm feeling about Florida State. Like, I've seen what they've done in the past 2 weeks now. They've gotten away with wins, unlike Florida State. But nonetheless, they did not look very good against inferior competition. Now, Oregon State is probably not as good as Boise State. I think I would probably take Boise State in that game, but this is a rivalry. I think Oregon State is going to be pissed at Oregon for just absolutely decimating the conference. So they'll have that edge playing for them. And also, I haven't seen anything from Oregon to make me believe that they can they can cover 3 possessions in a game, especially in a rivalry game. So give me Oregon State here. UCF TCU. This game has been flipped around a whole bunch. It's been TCU -2.5. It's been UCF -2.5. Pick 'em. So I got them right now at UCF +1. I think UCF is a better team. I think the rushing attack that UCF will be able to bring at TCU will be too much for them to handle. I do expect it to be a close game though. So give me UCF +1. Georgia, Kentucky. This line has also dropped. I think you can get it at 22 now. I think I like the first half better, because this could end up being a blowout. But I do like Georgia here, and Kentucky really did not show really anything good on tape last week against South Carolina. They looked miserable offensively, so I don't think they're going to get the ball moving anywhere on Georgia's defense. So give me Georgia -23.5. Air Force, Baylor. Baylor, 3 possession favorite over anyone. I'm not buying it. So give me Air Force here +17. This is more of a play against Baylor than it is on Air Force. So give me Air Force +17. UNLV, Kansas. It's a Friday night game. This game is going to be a lot of fun. So we got a Barry Odom team that's a little spicy. And they've really improved over the past couple of years. And we saw Kansas really kind of shit the bed against Illinois last week. So we'll see how they bounce back. But there's also better numbers out here if you want to take UNLV. There's 9s out there. I got it at 7.5. Again, jumped a little early. So give me UNLV +7.5. The Backyard Brawl. We got a lot of great rivalries this week. The Backyard Brawl. So give me Pitt +2 here. This is more so me fading West Virginia, I think, and then Pitt is at home here. I think this game is going to be a lot of fun, and I expect it to be pretty close. Pitt didn't look great in the first half last week, but got it together in the second half. I think if they play with that at that level, like they played in the second half last week, they'll be all right in the backyard brawl. And lastly, Ole Miss, Wake Forest. I think Wake Forest is just really, really bad. And I would not be surprised if Lane wants to run up the score a little bit against a Power 5 out-of-conference opponent. So give me Ole Miss minus 21.5. Follow Big Body Ball CFB on all socials.